Hi, this is Dee with DJ Designs, and today I have an exciting tutorial on how to make Juneteenth earrings or earrings that would be Juneteenth themed using your scrap fabrics, okay? And these are the way some of them turned out. Oh man, I really like these. Okay, all right, well stay tuned and I will show you how to make these beautiful earrings. Okay, let's get started. What I did was cut strips from some old jeans that I had, and I cut a lot of the fabric that I had small pieces of. So this is going to be like a project that you can use with your leftover scrap fabric. So you can even piece this like I'm going to do now. I'm going to piece the denim because I wasn't able to cut the size that I really wanted to. And I'm using Alene's Tacky glue. And I like this because it does a good adherence to the fabric. And I'm just using an old t-shirt to lightly spread it and with a little overlap. And I'll do my next color, which should be a print. I experimented with this and it really came out nice, the color combination. I really like the way that came out. And now I'm going to do a strip of denim that I frayed, and I'll show you toward the end of this how I did this. If you cut the strip even, it'll be easy to fray. I didn't cut these strips even, so it didn't fray even, which that's okay though, because I kind of like the frayed look. And all I'm doing is just slightly overlapping there. Okay. And I'm gonna do a repeat pattern, but what I should have done was the second piece of this denim, because I want this to overlap with the strip, and I'll show you what I mean. Just take that, and I want to kind of put this in between. And I'm going to go over this after so that I could make sure that each piece is glued down. But right now I'm doing just a rough layout, and I can go back and make sure that I have glue at each space, because it'll cause problems down the line if you don't do that. So, and like I said, I'm just piecing this. I wasn't able to get large enough piece of denim, but that's okay because you can work around that. And I'm going to finish this layout, and I'll show you at the end how I frayed the denim. Okay, I just want to show you right quick. I cut a strip, and I believe it's with the grain instead of against the grain. You get a better fray, but you can experiment with whatever you use to see which way is going to be better for you. I did try it a couple ways, and I noticed cutting with the grain, I got better fray. So basically this is all you do. You just pull the strings out, and like I said, if it's cut straight, which I should have used my rotary cutter, it's easy to pull out. But yeah, if you keep pulling with it, it'll work out. All right, and I did this off camera, but this is the last strip because I wanted to show you how I did the fraying. Okay, all right, and I'm going to place this strip. I tried to do a pattern because I wanted to be able to do some earrings and make sure the earrings match, so I tried to do a pattern, but we'll see how this works out. Okay. I think I'm going to put some bling on it. I think I'm going to use some metallic paint or some foil I don't know. That might give it a nice extra touch. Okay. Okay, so I decided to use some foil, and I did put some transfer duo gel, and I'll put a link in the description for this. It has dried some time, so, and all I did was just take a back of a paintbrush, or the ends of a paintbrush, and just dabbed it, just so I can get some random highlights of foil. And it probably needs to dry a little bit more. I'll go over that again, just to give it a little bling. I think I like that. Can't wait to do earrings with this. Wow, that's looking really good. Okay, and I'll probably go over it again. I think I wanted to add a little more. I didn't want to add too much and take away from the actual design, but that's looking good. Kind of like this, but I think I'm gonna go over it again and put just a little bit more, because I didn't know if I was going to be doing too much. But that looks really nice. All right, I don't know if you can see this close up, but I'm going to add just a little bit more, and we're going to make some earrings. Oh, before you want to cut this, definitely you want to cut the edges of this, you know, so you know the true edge when you're using your laser cutter. You don't want to cut in an area that doesn't have the wood. Been there, done that. So I'm going to cut this edge. I'm going to add a little more bling, and we're going to make some fancy earrings for Juneteenth. Look at that. Okay. All right, I'll be right back. Got the first set. Looking good. Oh my. Really good. Alright, I think I'll do a couple more. Okay, let's see how this design came out. Really liking this. Nice. Alright, let's finish them off. Okay, we have our cutouts for our earrings, and I'm gonna probably experiment and do some of these with UV resin. Okay, normally I use the 2-part resin, but because this is fabric coated with denim, I really don't want a thick coat of UV resin, and I have more control if I use the the 2-part resin. I have more control when I use the UV resin because you don't need as thick a coat. So I'm only gonna do 2 pairs with the UV resin, and I did experiment on another pair, and it did do pretty well. So as you can see, I'm just putting a thin coat and make sure it's on there even. That looks good. And I'm going to put this in the sun so that it could get dry. I have better luck with the sun, although I have a UV resin nail lamp that I used to use. I don't use it anymore, but I'm glad that I'm able to use it with this. So I'll put this under the UV lamp, maybe a little more so it'll be even. Okay. All right, and I think I'll do just the inside part of this pair to give it a dimensional look. The outside, I'm going to leave it natural. And I'll show you what I mean when this finishes. I did another pair very similar And I did like the two-dimensional look, one with the resin and the outside without. It did give it a nice professional look. Okay, get this other one done and get the tabs done, and I'll be right back. And the UV resin that I use, I forgot to mention, is less resin, UV resin. I'm using a high viscosity, but I think the low viscosity will also give you the same good results, okay? And as you can see, I'm using a UV resin as opposed to the two-part because I don't want to do the dome effect. I just want to put a thin coat to set it, and you'll see it gives it a nice look. And let's see if the UV resin is dry. Oh yeah, the sun is showing out today. Okay, we got the UV resin, it's dry. And I think I'm gonna paint the back with like a dark navy blue to pick up the denim. Get that cleaned off a little bit. And we'll just paint the back with a dark navy blue to pick up that denim. I said we want to use a contrasting color, and that's the color we want to use. Okay, we'll do this one as well. And you can use any acrylic paint. Actually, I got these paints in either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They're fairly inexpensive, and I've had it over a year and I still have plenty left. So this part of the project is very inexpensive. And I'm just basically painting the backs, and I will be back when I get all my pieces painted. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting some little accents to pick up the orange in the fabric. Just gonna make these some fancy backs. And I guess they could be reversible too if you just switch that hook around. The pinch belt clip that I used probably could be reversible. So that would be a good selling point. And I'm using a fan brush, just a small fan brush, to give it some kind of pattern effect. And when we finish this, I'm going to varnish it. So these earrings will definitely look like designer earrings. Okay, I'm going to finish doing that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm adding some Deco Art metallic paint to have a third color, and then I'm going to put a coat of varnish on this. This is going to look really nice. Guess it would be good reversible. I'm going to have to try that. But basically that's all you do. There's no rhyme or reason or no specific pattern that you need to follow. It's just wherever your brush takes you. And that's all you do with that. All right, we're gonna get these varnished. Okay, I have the Mini Wax Polyacrylic Clear Spray Top Coat. And I'm just gonna do, fairly a light coat all the way over, and we are going to let this dry, and we're going to paint the sides and put the hardware, and we'll be done. Okay, I started painting the edges. I was going to use the marker, but I want to use this color paint to give it a real gold accent. This is something I got on Amazon, and I could put a link in the description. It's Treasure Gold. It looks like gold. And gosh, this paint is really very rich looking. And the reason why I want to do that, because I want to do the edges of the top edges to give it like an antique look. This just gives it a special touch, and this is what makes it more like a designer earring. So I'm just doing a light touch on the edges very carefully, and just a little over the edges. If you can see that, it's giving it a nice antique look. So basically that's all I'm doing, is going around the edges, and I just put a light brush so it won't, to spread the excess paint. Liking that. Wow. Okay. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest of these up, and we'll be right back to put the hardware on. Okay, I decided to do 2 pair, and one I'm doing with the for a post, and another I'm gonna add a cone, and I'll show you how to do this right quick. Excuse me. I got this in, actually this is just a plastic jumbo knitting needle I picked up, and it may have been the dollar store, I don't remember, but if not, it's something you can pick up. And I just drilled holes, okay? And I'm gonna use this top hole here, and all I did was just wrap it around, continue to wrap it around. And I think I did it 10 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I think that's how many times I did it. I wanted to match the other one. Okay, and all you do is just clip it with the blunt end like that, and clip the top so you can release it from the hole easily. And you can have different sizes. It really works really well. But I started doing these cones. I had seen it at a vendor show that I went to, and I said, I'm gonna have to try that, but I couldn't figure out what I could use to get that cone shape. And I thought about the knit needle that I don't use. I used to knit and crochet, but I don't do that anymore. And there you have it. Okay, so I did one earring. I was trying to decide which bead I want, but I really like the way that came out. Excuse me. And I'll show you how to put on this cone with the bead. It's fairly simple. Just make the bend and then bring it around your round nose pliers like that. But before you close it up, you want to slip on your earring. Okay. And I usually use a jewelry pliers to just twist it around, maybe 2 or 3 times would be good, just to get it on there real good. Doesn't have to be perfect because the cone is gonna cover up this wire. Okay, really simple once you make that curve and slip it on. And take your cone and slip it on. And notice how I took the wire and I bent it inside so it don't show from the outside. Okay, and you can take any bead. I have these in my stash. They're lava rock with gold paint. It came already painted, and I did get this from Amazon. I can put a link if anyone's interested. Okay, all right, once you get it on like this, you're going to once again take your round nose pliers and just bend it and bring it around like that. And you want to get the flat nose pliers and you want to bring it up to the center like that. Okay. And once again, you want to wrap it around. Hold it with the pliers so you don't bend it. I'd say 2 or 3 times, and that should be plenty time. This earring is not going anywhere. Okay, and just take your cutters and cut it with the blunt end like that. And then you want to take the flat nose pliers again. You want to make sure that's in really good. Okay, simple. once you do it a few times, I can say it was very difficult when I first started doing it, but it took maybe 2 or 3 times and I was able to master it. Okay. And I'm taking my earring hooks, and of course they're gold to match the theme of this earring. And I do need to get a new pliers. These keep coming apart. If anyone knows a good suggestion for jewelry pliers, I know I heard about Beadalon was a good one, and there's another one too. I can't think of the name. But if anybody has a good suggestion on pliers that I should get, because I want to upgrade my pliers. I think I'm at that point. Slows me down when it comes apart like that. Okay. All right, and I want to get this turned around so that the hook is facing the correct way. And we have our first pair done. Fairly simple. Okay. All right, we're going to work on the smaller earrings. I started doing these because when I did the vendor shows, they were saying, oh, do you have smaller earrings? So I said, okay, well, I will take my scrap wood, things that I couldn't really fit, and make the smaller shape. And then I got my favorite pinch bill clips, and they're gold to go with the theme of the colors. And look how that turned out, by the way. Okay. All right, that's one. Look at that. Really nice. And let's get the other one done. And really simple. Basically, all you do is have to open up these prongs and squeeze them. You can use your pliers if you want, but the hand, you know, doing it by hand, it works as well. The same thing. Okay. All right, we got one more pair. Okay, and these are just the shape that I thought would go nice with this theme. And once again, I'm using my favorite pinch bill clips, and I am attaching them to the hole here. Make sure I got it the right way. Look at that, simple. Oh, and look how the back turned out, by the way. Really nice. And that edging gives it an antique designer look. And let's do the other one. Make sure I got that pinch bill clip turned the right way. And give that a good squeeze. Sometimes you do have to use your pliers because the prongs are okay, perfect. Okay. All right. So, oh, I did these off camera, and I didn't put the post in. They're post earrings, but look at that. Look how that turned out. Wow. And basically, I used a custom ring, and I do have tutorials on how to do a larger custom ring when you have larger areas that you need this ring. Okay. Look at that. Wow. I am very pleased with this project. Okay, this will conclude my tutorial on how to make Juneteenth themed earrings, designer earrings. I'm very pleased with the way they came out. I'll put links in the description for some of the items that I used in case you wanted to purchase them. Okay, and I really like the way these bags turned out. Wow, look at that edging. Okay, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.